Hey Sydney, guess what? The Silly Story Spectacular is coming to you. The Sydney Comedy Festival has been kind enough to give us a space to put on our show. The tickets are on sale now. Remember, both our Melbourne shows sold out in less than a day, so you will want to be fast. Head over to the Sydney Comedy Festival website and search Silly Stories for Kids, or click on the link in this episode description. All right, story time. Let's go! One day, two kids named Eleanor and Benji were walking home from school. As they were walking, all of a sudden Benji could feel some kind of breeze that seemed to be coming from behind him. What's that breeze? He said to his sister. I don't know, said Eleanor. As they turned around and looked, they were both completely and totally surprised. Benji, said Eleanor. Yes, he said. Is that a pirate ship? I think so, said Benji. Sure enough, behind them was a giant pirate ship. But the pirate ship wasn't on water, it was flying, and it flew down right next to them. A pirate popped his head up over the side.
"Army hearties, be you Benji and Eleanor?"
Yes, said Eleanor. Who are you?
"I be Pirate Peggy Pants, and I've been looking for you for quite some time. Your mum said you should be walking home this direction."
Really? Said the kids.
"Yes, she gave me this note."
He passed a note down, and they could see in their mum's handwriting was a letter. Hi kids, I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. Go have some fun with Pirate Peggy Pants. I'll see you later. Wow, said Benji. She wants us to come have some fun with you?
"That's fantastic," said Pirate Peggy Pants, "because there is lots of fun to be had. Climb aboard," he said.
Your pirate ship is very tall, said Eleanor. I don't think that we can climb in.
"Don't worry," said Pirate Peggy Pants. "I will reverse cannon shot you."
What? Said the kids. But before they could ask what was going to happen, Pirate Peggy Pants had two cannons aimed directly at them.
3, 2, 1, fire!
He yelled. All of a sudden, the cannons... But nothing came out. Instead, it seemed to suck the kids back in. Wow, said Benji as he landed on the deck. That was incredible, said Eleanor.
"You've seen nothing yet," said Pirate Peggy Pants. "Raise anchor! Lift the mainsail! Grab the helm!"
What are you talking about? Said the kids.
"Don't worry, this ship knows where to go. Ha 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 ha!" said Pirate Peggy Pants.
With that, the ship lifted up into the air and started sailing over all of the houses. Pirate Peggy Pants, said Eleanor.
"Yes, Eleanor?"
How is the ship flying like this?
"Well, I don't really know, but all I know is that it's fun."
And where are we going? Said Benji.
"Well, I don't really know that either."
What? Said the kids. How do you not know where we're going?
"Well, there arrived some barrels on me ship, and they seem to be guiding where we're going."
What barrels? Said Benji.
"Over there," said Pirate Peggy Pants.
He pointed to a spot on the deck where there was a whole bunch of barrels. Pirate Peggy Pants, said Eleanor.
"Yes, Eleanor?"
These barrels seem to be moving.
"I know. It'd be very strange. They've been moving around, and if you listen carefully, they seem to be buzzing as well."
What's in 'em? Said Benji.
"I haven't opened any up. I've been a little bit too nervous."
Well, what are we actually going to do with them?
"We will wait and see,"
said Pirate Peggy Pants. I might just have a quick peek, said Benji. He opened a tiny bit of one of the barrels, and as he looked inside, all of a sudden, a whole bunch of colourful dust burst out the top. Whoa, said Benji. And the dust started to float around in circles, almost like it was alive. What's happening? Said Benji.
"Did you let some out?"
said Pirate Peggy Pants. I didn't mean to, said Benji.
"Aha, well, at least we know what be inside,"
said Pirate Peggy Pants. While they were talking, the dust started swirling around Benji and Eleanor, and as it swirled, all of a sudden, whoa, we're in pirate costumes, said Benji. Yeah, said Eleanor, look. They held up their hands, and in them were two amazing-looking swords.
"Wow," said Pirate Peggy Pants. "That be incredible."
The dust continued to swing and swirl, and then it went around to the sails, and then, all of a sudden, there was a giant picture of Pirate Peggy Pants' face all over the sails in the biggest, most colourful colours you have ever seen. "Wow," said Eleanor, "look, it's you!"
Aha! I've been wanting to decorate that sail for some time. This dust seems like lots of fun. Maybe, should we let some more out?
"I don't know," said Eleanor. "It could be a little risky." "I'll do it," said Benji as he opened the top of one of the barrels entirely. The dust all came out. It went straight up into the air and then it went around the entire pirate ship. It started swirling around it like some kind of strange, colourful tornado. And as it swirled and it swirled and it swirled, Pirate Peggy Pants' ship got completely changed. It went from a normal-looking pirate ship to...
Look at this thing. It looks hilarious,
said Pirate Peggy Pants. Everything was covered in stripes and polka dots and all kinds of colours. It looked ridiculous. Sorry, Peggy Pants, said Benji.
What do you mean, sorry, said Pirate Peggy Pants. It looks amazing. I love it. Well done, young man.
Really? Said Eleanor. But it looks so...
It suits me. I'm silly and I'm wild and wacky. I love that my pirate ship now looks the same. Huzzah!
Yelled Pirate Peggy Pants. As they were continuing to sail, the kids realised that they still had no idea where they were going. But the pirate ship knew where they were going. It sailed down right into the middle of the city. "What are we doing here?" said Eleanor.
"I don't know,"
said Pirate Peggy Pants. The barrels started to shake and rumble. I think the barrels want us to open them," said Benji.
"Well, we best be doing the opening," said Pirate Peggy Pants. "But this time, instead of the normal way, maybe we should do it the fun way."
"What?" said the kids.
"Let me see those swords," said Pirate Peggy Pants.
He took the swords from the kids and he had a very close look.
It does, said
Pirate Peggy Pants. "It does what?" said Benji.
"Look."
Pirate Peggy Pants pointed to a spot on each of their swords. "That looks like some kind of button."
It is, huzzah!
Yelled Pirate Peggy Pants. "It is what?" said the kids.
"Watch this,"
said Pirate Peggy Pants. He held one of the swords and pointed at one of the barrels. Then he pressed the button. Zoom! The barrel exploded and the dust went out everywhere. "How did you do that?" said Eleanor.
"With the button," said Pirate Peggy Pants.
"You try," he said, tossing the swords back to the kids. As he threw them into the air, the kids were worried, but these swords seemed to have a mind of their own. They flew perfectly into their hands and the kids took hold. Okay, said Benji as he pointed his sword towards one of the barrels. He pressed the button. The barrel exploded and the dust was free.
"Keep going," yelled Pirate Peggy Pants. "We need to open them all," he yelled.
So the kids started poking their swords in the direction of the different barrels and they pressed the button again and again and again. In no time at all, every barrel was completely exploded and there was a giant, colourful dust cloud over the top of their head. As the kids watched, it started to head off in all directions around the city. "What's it gonna do?" said Benji.
"We best go watch,"
said Pirate Peggy Pants.
"But we'll need to be quick. Head to the lifeboats."
"The lifeboats?" said the kids.
"Yes, they're the best lifeboats that a pirate ship could ever have."
The kids raced over to the side and they found what they realised must have been what Pirate Peggy Pants was talking about, because these lifeboats did not look like normal lifeboats. They almost looked like a cross between a boat and a motorbike. "What is this?" said Benji.
"Jump on and see," said
Pirate Peggy Pants. So Benji jumped on one of the lifeboats and "Wow," said Benji. "It's so fast."
"It is. Your turn, Eleanor."
Eleanor jumped on one as well. "Wow," she said.
"Follow the dust,"
said Pirate Peggy Pants as he jumped on one as well. As the kids and Pirate Peggy Pants started flying along after the dust, they could see all the funny things that it was doing. It was zooming into office buildings, and all of a sudden, all the people started coming out with colourful suits, with stripes and dots and all kinds of ridiculous things. One lady even came out with a hat on her head that had over 2,000 feathers sticking up out the top. "Oh dear," she said. It was very funny. The dust continued to go in and out of all the different buildings. Office people were coming out of everywhere with amazing coloured suits and sparkly clothes. It was very, very fun. As they all found themselves in the middle of the street looking at each other, they first of all looked quite concerned. "What has happened to my suit?" "I don't know. Mine is changed as well." "Oh dear, what are we going to do?" Then they looked at everyone else, and they all started to laugh. As the people started laughing, the colours started to move.
"Look," said Pirate Peggy Pants, "it'd be amazing."
Then the colours from all the clothes started to combine into... "What is that?" said Benji.
"I don't know,"
said Pirate Peggy Pants. Then it started to play music. It had joined up and made a giant speaker in the middle of town. The music started playing and everybody couldn't help but dance. It was almost like their colourful clothes were controlling them. The kids were having so much fun, they decided to dance as well. And as they were dancing, more dust started surrounding them and changed their normal pirate clothes into colourful, sparkly pirate clothes. "Look at me," said Benji. "Look at me," said Eleanor.
"Huzzah!"
yelled Pirate Peggy Pants. And all the people and the kids started dancing and having the most wonderful time in the centre of town.
"Okay, kids, it is time for me to get ye home, so jump back aboard your lifeboats. We'll leave the ship here and we'll go home the fastest way possible. Make sure to switch your lifeboats to overdrive."
"Overdrive," said the kids. They jumped on their lifeboats. They could see a little switch. Are you sure?" said Benji.
"As sure as I've ever been,"
said Pirate Peggy Pants. So the kids flipped the switch. Pew! And with that, they were already back home. As the kids got off their lifeboats and started to walk towards the front door in their colourful, sparkly, amazing pirate clothes, they waved to Pirate Peggy Pants, who headed back home. The door opened and their mum came out. "Whoa! Kids, where did you get those clothes from?" "Well," they said, "I don't think you'd believe us, even if we told you." And that is the end of the story.
This episode be brought to you by Peggy Pants Logistics. Do you need things delivered to all kinds of places, quickly, effectively, and magically? Make sure you call me, Pirate Peggy Pants, and I'll make sure that it gets to its destination and doesn't get exploded everywhere. We hope you've been enjoying Silly Stories for Kids. Make sure to leave a review wherever you find your podcast and tell every single one of your friends. This has been me, Pirate Peggy Pants.
And me, Sam. We'll see you soon. Silly Stories for Kids is only possible thanks to the support of our listeners. If you want to help us make more stories, music, books, live shows, and so much more, head over to sillystoriesforkids.com and join the family.